Look, this is my problem with the inner child work, okay? First of all, there's like a type of person who believes that children are kind of dumb and that kind of need to be enlightened to adulthood, into adulthood. And those kind of people say things like, you're acting like a child, like in a bad way. And then you get all this entire generation of people who do nothing but try to connect with their inner children, their inner child. I, for one, wanted to be an adult when I was a child my whole life because I considered once I'd be an adult, then I'd be taken seriously. Nothing changed. So being an adult is only exceptional if that's what's being shown to be the peak of life as being an adult. But if you look at the natural world, everything goes through a baby stage, a maturation stage, and a dying stage, and that's kind of where I'm at when I view all the ages of things. And in order to get to one stage, you have to fully embrace the stage that you're in. So I don't think that, like, I find it fascinating, like the people that like see their childhood as like the peak of their life, and then they just spend the rest of their lives like trying to recreate their childhood when they could just be incorporating things that they like from their past into their future instead of trying to maintain a child, what they think in their head is being a child. And I also think that that keeps you from growing into a mature. I could be wrong. I'm sure doing inner child work does some good things. Like for me, for example, I found a picture of myself as a child and that I couldn't even look at, and I had to really stop myself and be like, "Oh my God, that is me." Like I mean, I had to make myself send that picture good energy because my initial reaction was almost like she didn't even exist, like she was nothing. And I had to make myself be like, whoa, girl, you're cool, like you're gonna go through some shit, but it's gonna be okay. And that kind of inner child work, that kind of like talking to yourself and nurturing and mothering yourself is very real, but that's not to keep you at a state of childhood. That's to help you maintain your adulthood and your adult life, right? Because if we weren't properly raised, we have to spend part of our adult life learning how to raise ourselves. And um, that's what that's about. So I don't think like obsessing, and definitely like my generation is a weird, weird generation. Like I was born in 87, and the cartoons and the shows that I found myself watching when I was a youngin' growing between, I mean, all of it was all real weird stuff. And I think my generation is good for it. I think we're cool because we're weird. I think we have like, we're like monsters don't, we made monsters into cute little things, it's like, uh, um, all of this like weirdness actually became our strength, in a lot of ways because we're able to kind of like, view things from like a weird perspective and which can be helpful in a lot of ways. Um, but that isn't necessarily because my nature is weird. Like that's because I grew up in a weird world, Like if I wasn't allowed to watch Nickelodeon, I don't know. I don't know if I would think of weirdness in the same way. Um, and now that I have a son and I get to like revisit these shows and stuff, it's really bringing up like what are we learning, what are we teaching, what are we, and in most of the shows that I grew up watching, I realized it's all about like diversity. Like everybody's got something unique, everybody's got something weird about them, everybody's, got some weakness, everybody's got something going on in a story. And seems like a lot of the stuff these days is like about like groupthink and problem solving, and um, the interaction with the telly and the phones and the computers is a different thing, which can be utilized like for learning. Really can, if you can regulate it. I think it can be a very very potent tool for learning for a child or an adult.